Welcome to another edition of Dragon Sports Live. I'm Donte Payne, your host for the evening. And before we get right into it, let me give you a little update on what's going on, what's happening right now. We got the Bulls set to play at the Atlanta Hawks tonight, hoping to get their first consecutive win since December 28th. And Bears hired Chuck Pagano as defensive coordinator to take Vic Fangio's spot, and as well, Mitch Trubisky will be playing in the Pro Bowl. But that's your Chicagoland Sports Updated, presented to you by Dragon Jump Productions. And I'm Donte Payne. And you're listening to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com with the Dragon Sports Live here, right now. But before we do that, I got a special treat for you guys. Those who's on YouTube and on Facebook, you know I'm always supporting local artists as well, because my show is based off music, and I give you that good sports talk, sports news, whatever. But I'm about that right now. So with that being said, all the music that you hear me play is from local artists. Once you go out there, buy their album, support them, show them how much you like their music and appreciate it. But with further ado, I have a song for you today. He go by the name of Lamar Creation, and the song's called King Forever. Let me know what y'all think about this song here on Dragonland Sports Radio. Here it is, King Forever.
Put this in your mental, we can take over the world together. I'm right here, I ain't going nowhere. You can hit my line whenever. Oh, it starts right here and it ends in heaven. Girl, you know you're queen and I'm king forever. I know the real, I see inside you, in search of true love. They still trying to find you. I can't define you. Talking about heaven's how I describe you. See you when we do whatever we got time to. All alone, all the time, yeah. Put this in your mental, we can take over the world together. I'm right here, I ain't going nowhere. You can hit my line whenever. It starts right here, but it ends in heaven. Girl, you know you're queen, and I'm king forever. King forever. Girl, you know you're queen, and I'm king forever. King forever. King forever. King forever. King forever. When you say come, I'm gon' pull up. I've been stupid for your love. Over time, I'll get gooder. If I ever go away, I'll come back and you'll be right where I left you. Waiting for my love, I just wanna give it to you. Put this in your mental, we can take over the world together. I'm right here, I ain't going nowhere. You can hit my line whenever. It starts right here, but it ends in heaven. Girl, you know you're queen, and I'm king forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dragon Sports Live. If you just tuning in, I'm Donte Payne, your lovely host for this evening. Got an exciting show for you lined up for you. We're going to talk about people packing their bags, taking a trip, doing things they shouldn't be doing, or just trying to be fancy. We also going to talk about blown calls in the NFL during that Saints-Rams game, and fights breaking down in the NBA. We also going to give you score recaps, breakdowns, and everything that you can possibly think of dealing with sports today. That's right. But before we do that, we have young Mr. Independent here on Dragonland Sports. Oops, I just combined the two stations together. Here on Dragon Sports Live, here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com Here is Independent with Winner.
Yeah. My mama told me I should never fall. You different and you cold. And honestly, she roll with a winner. I roll with the winner. I roll with the winner. I roll with the winner. I roll with. My mama told me I should never fall. You different and you cold. And honestly, she roll with the winner. I roll with the winner. Yeah. I be surrounded by the ones that make me better. I got all the doobies, but I gotta put the bread first. Keep my circle small, I trust everyone I be around. But everybody knows that it be lit whenever we around. Party in the club with the ice on. Turning out to my song, even when the lights on. If you are fake, you just snake like a python. Get from up around me, cause I was taught the right from wrong. Hi, hello, you should be my glow. Look at how I glow. Look at how I glow. Yeah, my mama told me I should never fall. You different and you cold. And honestly, she roll with a winner. I 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 roll with. My mama told me I should never fall. You different and you cold. And honestly, she roll with a winner. I roll with a winner. You wish you was me, but you ain't used to me. I put in that work, but work it ain't your thing. No, we can relate. I got money on my plate. You got time on your plate. I don't got time, get out my face. I'm always chasing the bank. Chasing the bank, yeah. You better stay in your place. Don't get a case, yeah. They don't want me for the legend. I get the steak, yeah. I can party, but it won't take me on my space. Yeah. Hi, hello, you should be my glow. Look at how I glow. Look at how I glow. Yeah, my mama told me I should never fall. You different and you cold. And honestly, she roll with a winner. I 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 roll with. My mama told me I should never fall. You different and you cold. And honestly, she roll with a winner. I roll with a winner. I roll with.
Welcome back to Dragon Sports Live. Now, as I mentioned before, we did have fights break out during the past couple of days. But what was really spectacular was the fight that broke out between Phoenix Suns Devin Booker and Minnesota T-Wolves Gorgie Deng. That fight broke out with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Now Minnesota still won this game 118-91. But it was like if for the people who watched the game, it looked like Booker was basically elbowed in the face. He's got in Deng's face and basically was like, bro, not cool. And, it escalated. And then they shoved each other, started shoving. The team got in there, we tried to break it up before it happened. But then Gordy Dane was like, meet me in the tunnel and you get these hands. And you see Booker running off into the tunnel trying to meet him in the tunnel. Like literally running, trying to drag the security guard while Dang was already running into the tunnel. Understand it's the game. It's the game that we love. It's competition. It's what we do. We're gonna get competitive at times. But there's no need for fighting, guys. We're grown men. Like that's not a thing that we should be fighting about. Things that we should be fighting about is like equal rights. Make sure everybody's treated equally. Fighting for kids and youth programs. Those are the things that we should be fighting for. Not, you know, it was a simple love tap. Those things happen. But the best thing to do is just move on. Keep it going. And don't let it get to you. That's the best thing you can possibly do. Because with that being said, I ain't gonna they both players end up being ejected out that game. For what? Booker, you know you one of the leading scorers for the Suns right now. You know they need your scoring output. Minnesota not really missing nothing because they got all those pieces and they got a deep bench. You can just pull players from the bench and still vibe. But Booker, you the leading scorer. It's not that serious. You know, words only meant to. Don't let the words hurt you. That's all I gotta say to that. All I gotta say to that. Like, yeah, be mellow, be cool. But speaking of people being short tempered, Luka Doncic is another person he had attitude last night. Dallas lost 106 to 98. And basically, yeah, he had because he missed a buzzer beat in the third quarter. He ripped his jersey, he basically just ripped his jersey, hawking up and stuff. Like he was that mad he missed that buzzer beater. It happens sometimes. Shut up. Even though you did finish the night with 17 points, but not only did you finish the night with 17 points, Dennis Smith Jr. is back with the team after a 6-game absence. He finished the night up with 17 points. He was 1 for 6 from 3-point range, but 6 for 17 on the field, and so was Luka Doncic. 5 of 15 from the field and 0 for 8 from 3-point range, which is why I can see he was frustrated because he was 0 for 8 from 3-point range. But he still finished the night with 17 points, and you guys still won. Look, guys, you still gonna have your shooting woes. Think about it. Klay Thompson had a shooting woe. He went 3 or 4 games where he wasn't hitting 3-pointers at all. You do it somewhere else. If you're not hitting your 3-pointers, make it up somewhere else. Do it on the back end. Do it on the different end. Don't get frustrated. You know, it's the game. The game goes on. The game works in more than one way. It's not just offense. You also got defense. You got steals, rebounds, blocks, assists. So make up in another department. If 3-pointers not falling, make up in another department. That's the best way to do that. Don't let that get to you. Don't let that take you down. Don't let that bring you down.
1,200. What are you talking about? I switched the fam to Metro. Now we're saving $1,200. Say what?
That's the best way to do that. Don't know what that was. That just really came out of nowhere. But you know, sounds happen, things happen. You know, best thing to do is just chill. Do it. With that being said, best way to chill is we're gonna take a quick commercial break here on Dragon Sports Live, here on Chicagoland Sports Radio. We'll be right back after these brief messages from our local sponsors, which is commercials made by and from the students of the Illinois Media School. So check it out here on Dragon Sports Live. Lights, camera, action. Hey there, I'm Donte Payne. I am the founder and CEO of Dragon Jump Productions. Dragon Jump Productions specializes in media production based in Chicago. We offer services in graphic design, photography, as well as videography. We also work with models as well. So if you got an idea for a photo shoot or you need to be branded, let us help you make your brand. Dragon Jump Productions will claw their way into stardom by making you look great. So if you want to book that next photo shoot with Dragon Jump Productions, reach out to dragonjumppro@gmail.com or call 773-892-4514. Again, that's dragonjumppro@gmail.com or call 773-892-4514. Let us take you and make you great. Look now, Dragon Jump Productions.
Chicagoland Sports Radio is your home for all of the latest Chicago sports news. CSR is not only the home to the most entertaining and informative shows in Chicago, but covers all of the top college and high school games as well. Big guests and bigger personalities. This is your home for the greatest debates in sports, broadcasting live from State Street in the South Loop. For all of the news, analysts, and interviews to keep you informed, log on to ChicagolandSportsRadio.com to listen live. Chicagoland Sports Radio. It's not just sports, it's a way of life.
At Sargent's Auto Insurance Group, you don't need to give us any personal information to get an auto insurance quote. You will not be declined because of bad reports on your license or because of unpaid parking tickets. You can get auto insurance online for as low as $39.99. You'll get instant proof of insurance and also a free quote of insurance from Sargent's Auto Insurance. So come on down to Sargent's for a free quote and see if we're the right insurance company for you. Located on Madison and Laramie on Chicago's west side. So come on down today. You won't be disappointed.
What you doing? Don't eat that sandwich during the game.
Why not?
That sandwich is cursing unsportsmanlike. It will cause the Sox to lose.
What do you mean?
Sandwiches is not a sports food to eat.
Huh? Then what should I eat?
Get yourself some boneless wings from Buffalo Wild Wings. You have the choice from sweet to blazing sauce. When you eat Buffalo Wild Wings, you can make any team you support win.
Really now?
Try these spicy wings from Buffalo Wild Wings and watch the Sox win. Now watch and be amazed of what happens.
B.Rae charges close. And the White Sox have won the World Series.
Those are really tasty. And the Sox really did win.
Yep, see, told you. Best way to do it is with Buffalo Wild Wings. Can't go wrong with wings. The best sports food in the world. Stop at your local store or go into your local Buffalo Wild Wings. Grab your boneless wings today, anytime, anywhere, any place. Get the Buffalo Wild Wings and be amazed on what happens.
You tune in to the hottest show for music and sports talk. This is
Welcome back. Like the drop ID said, welcome to Dragon Sports Live. It's the hottest show for your music, local, supporting artists, unsigned artists as well. It's the hottest show for music, and we will give you that good, gracious sports talk 101 with Donte Payne.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
And like I said, we talk about fights breaking down, people's flaring up angers, tempers going up.
Save $1,200 a year over AT&T and Verizon on a great
funny moment. So, as I was saying the other day, we also had the Phoenix Suns. Golden State Warriors playing second game back for Cousins, who had got a technical foul in the game, but it was more, the funny moment is Curry was going for a dunk and literally falls on his buttock and then tried around and airs the ball to three because he's going for his first dunk of the year. You know, he can dunk. He can get up there. A lot of people don't realize that, but he can get up there. So yeah, he was going for his first dunk and failed, slipped on his low key. Golden State still won that game, of course. It was a blowout game. No, I don't want to say a blowout, but they still won that game. And since we're talking about scores, let's give you scores from yesterday. So we had San Antonio, Sacramento Kings versus the Toronto Raptors. Kings lost 105 to 120. And who's the leading scorers in that game? It wasn't Kawhi Leonard. It was Fred VanVleet as well as Kyle Lowry. They both had 19 points apiece. And they was going nuts in that game. Kyle Lowry he was 4 for 9 from 3. He had 4 rebounds. 7 rebounds. No, he had 4 rebounds, my bad. And 9 assists. With 19 points. And then you have VanVleet. So if you look at their overall stat lines, they both were the same. Kyle Lowry he was 6 of 15 from the field. And VanVleet, 6 of 10 from the field. Larry was 4 for 9 from 3-point range, and Van Fleet was 3 for 6 from 3-point range. Van Fleet had 7 rebounds, 7 assists. And Siakam, who's been a very good power forward, he was the second leading scorer with 18. But then you had Bagley, who made his third career start with 22, leading the Kings. So with that being said, it was a good game for the players singly, but as a team, you got to do better, Kings. You got to do better. Maybe next game. But they're just showing you the hottest team right now is the Raptors. They are 21-4 at home after yesterday's win. They can be beaten at home, but right now it's unstoppable. And their win percentage when Leonard is not on the court, I should say their point differential appointed points is higher when Leonard's not on the court. When he's on, it's 105. When he's off, it's 115. Their win percentage, they're still winning games even though he's not on the court. Unlike some teams when their star player is down, or I guess you can no, because it was Coward and DeRozan. So one of your stars is down. The team drops morale, or they don't feel as confident when you have that other player. Oh, the Bulls did play the other night. They played against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and a lot of people was calling that game basically the tank game. Who's winning tank ball central? Who's going on the Zion Williamson train? And I was watching that game. Literally, at one point in time, I'm gonna say about a minute, maybe a minute 10. It was nothing but air balls and turnovers, left and right. First one was with Parker. Then you go on the other end, air ball, come back, turnover. Then there's an air ball again, and another turnover. And it was just like, I understand the theory, but why? Why, my good peoples? Why we subject to being involved in a tank clinic? We have some pretty decent players. You just have to utilize them in the right way. Mix up the lineups. Make people come off the bench more. And switch up star lineups just a little bit. Not too much. Just a little bit. That's the only thing I would say. As I said earlier, they are taking on the Hawks and hoping to get their second consecutive game in a row. It'll be the first since December 28th. It's the last time they had the game. Consecutive games won. They've been on a 10-game losing streak beforehand. Toronto is playing against the Pacers right now. It is 10:33, 2-4, and starting in the first. We got the Celtics taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers, who is 9-39, and both Horford and Urban will be resting in this game. They will not be playing this game tonight. They'll be resting. They'll be out tonight. So you'll see Terry Rozier in the starting lineup, and maybe Daniel Theis in the starting lineup. Orlando taking on Brooklyn, and then Los Angeles Clippers taking on Miami. Miami at home tonight. One of many while we on the Dwayne Wade tour. Because he's basically, after the end of the season, he's retiring. Houston taking on New York today. And then we got Spurs, Philly. And then Hawks, Hawks and Bulls, as I mentioned earlier. Charlotte versus Memphis and Detroit versus New Orleans. An update on AD, Anthony Davis. He may be back. He could be possibly back next week. Even though he has a fractured finger, he could be back playing possibly by next week. But I will keep you posted up on that. With that being said, let's keep it moving. So yeah, we was talking about how their team. If you go down the Bulls lineups, right? Let's see. We'll talk about the trades that they have made. Most recent, they have traded for Carmelo Anthony, who will not play for the Bulls. He will be waived, or possibly they would look to ship him off for younger talent before the trade deadline, the February 7th trade deadline. Okay, you got him. That was via trade, but y'all got cash and an international pick out of that. Okay, that's one. Two, you end up getting back Carter Williams from the Rockets again to waive him again. And they also waived Cameron Payne. Couple other people they waived. They sent down to the G League. They waived Cameron Payne. They limited Parker's minutes. Now he's back in the rotation. And then you're planning on moving Melo before the trade deadline or gonna waive him. So it's like you hear all this going on with the Bulls. They basically still in the rebuilding process. But the question that comes to mind is like, what's happening to Carmelo? Like, do you guys believe that he's gonna get another chance? Harden believes he should get another chance. It may not have been with Houston, but he believes he should still be playing. I think he should still be playing, but I don't think he's starting material anymore. Like his numbers is starting to fall and fall off. He shoots a lot of shots. Don't get me wrong. He will shoot a lot of shots. But like I said, his material is starting to fall off. So as you get older, and I was like, what's to expect? Like I said, he's not gonna play for the Bulls. And Melo's only been averaging, as far as minutes, 29 minutes a game. Field goal percentage is 51 in wins, 34% in losses. Whew. And in this season, he's only been averaging 13 points per game. Do y'all think the Lakers gonna pick him up? Now, Melo is age 34, and he's been in the league 15 years. That's why I say I think his time is winding down, but it is some good teams that I feel Melo would fit well with that team. He can possibly fit well with LeBron if he's playing power forward. He also could fit well with. I think he would fit perfectly with Portland and that would make Portland a serious threat because they'll give you another scoring option that you can utilize. You already got Damian Lillard as well as CJ McCollum. That will give you another scoring option. Like, hey, watch him. Watch that man right there. Watch. That's what I think should happen. Will it happen that way? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. Definitely don't know. But speaking of trades, Grizzlies also probably looking to shop Conley as well as Gasol to via trade before that trade deadline. So be on the lookout for these blockbuster trades that will happen Someone that you wouldn't expect, some of them you think would just happen. Definitely be on the lookout for that, because I'm definitely gonna be on the lookout for that. I'm definitely gonna be watching for that. So, because I want to know what's gonna happen, what these teams gonna do. You know, what's going on. In other signings, Wizards signed Gary Payton II to a 10-day contract. Hawks transfer Jalen Adams and Alex Poitras to Erie to their G League affiliate. So want to say D League so bad, but can't do that really. And Corey Brewer was signed to a 10-day contract. So Corey Brewer is still in the league. He's another one of those players that's been in the wild for a while, but can still perform. So that goes back to what I was saying. You may not fit with this team, but it's a team out there that's gonna want you and need your service. Would one of those teams step up? They're gonna step up if it's a nice, healthy price on it, but they'll step up. So stay tuned for those blockbuster trades before the deadline, which is happening February 7th. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. I got you covered with that. In the meantime, while we stay tuned to that, we're gonna switch it over to NFL, where it's been a lot of controversy going on in NFL. Far as a call that was blown during a Rams Saints game. But before I get to that, I got a little Kurt Green here on Dragon Sports Live called Wave. So everybody wave and listen to Kurt Green here on Dragon Sports Live here on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.
Contemplating, you spent your whole day contemplating. Baby, I've been waiting. Tell me what's up before I take her. Cause girl, I've been patient. You so concerned about your friends and what the hell they saying. What they say. Cause they can't tell you how to feel. No, they can't tell you if it's real. No. Only I know the truth. Girl, I'm so into you, so into you. I've been wanting you. Please tell me what to do. Say your friends don't approve of me. Laying on the day, talking about daddy always talking to me. Just say, I know they're making it hard. Oh yeah, but don't let them get you confused. I ain't here to waste your time. Don't pay them no mind no more. Girl, hop on this wave with me. Won't you hop on this wave with me? Yeah. Hop on this wave with me, baby. Don't miss this plane. Don't change everything. Hop on this wave, yeah. Your baby daddy on some bullshit. Heard that nigga acting foolish. Hate to see you going through this. He's useless. And he can't tell you how to feel. No. Girl, he just mad because it's real. Only I know the truth. God, I'm so into you. You know I've been wanting you. Please tell me what to do. Say friends don't approve of me. Baby, what they talking about? Baby, daddy always talking to me. Just say, I know they making it hard to choose. Oh yeah, but don't let them get you confused. I ain't here to waste your time. Don't pay them no mind. Come on, girl, hop on this wave with me. Won't you hop on this wave with me? Yeah. Hop on this wave with me, baby. Don't miss this plane. Don't change everything. Hop on this way, baby. Alright, alright, baby. Hop on this way, with me, baby. Hop on this way, girl. Let's hop on this way with me. You say your friends don't approve me. Never what they talking about. They always talking me straight. I know they're making it hard. Oh yeah, but don't let them get you confused. I ain't here to waste your time. Don't pay them no mind no more. Girl, hop on this way with me. Won't you hop on this way with me? Yeah. Hop up on this way. Won't you hop on this way with me, baby? Don't miss this plane. Don't change everything. Hop on this way. Yeah.
Gotta stay focused, cause man, I'm on a mission. Mission so the Lord beat the devil to submission. Hope the whole world listen to your heart and pay attention. Salvation gained by faith, not by religion. Word that's the scripture, Holy Spirit is conviction. And I am just a messenger, playing my position. There's no competition when you're trying to control destiny. No weapon formed against me prosper, yeah, that's my recipe. Evil out had tested me, but the Lord blessing me. My lifestyle changed, homie, this is my confession. See, heading the right direction, G. Pointing to the sky, thanking God every day, cause the Spirit is alive. Look, this song right here for my generation. Different situations that we often facing. Back against the wall, fighting temptations. Saying that we try, but we really so complacent. Time to stay focused on my grind. Gotta keep the Lord up on my mind. You believe that? You believe that? And if you love them, lift them high. Throw them hands up in the sky. You believe that? You believe that? Wait, I had to pause for a minute to let you know the boy be all about his business. Dudes say I'm tripping, they talk about me hating, but I got 2 words, let me yell it for you cats. Stop playing. Man, the boy is a beast. I live a life for God, but used to be the streets. I praise and repeat, a scholar of the heavens. I swear it's been a fight since I was about 11. I go see the reverend, he helped me out some, but God is the only one, you know he awesome. And all I know is winning, don't know another deal. So losing is not an option like a Laker Hayfield. Yeah, and I will not fall. I'm calling for the call, yeah, I ball, man. I got swag, I get it from God, and he told me to be the new school Paul. Time to stay focused on my grind. Gotta keep the Lord up on my mind. You believe that? You believe that? And if you love them, lift them high. Throw them hands up in the sky. You believe that? You believe that? Yeah. And I'ma groove to the beat. I represent G.O.D. You know me, G.E. Tell all demons they can fall back. Yeah, the boy real nice, I don't know that. Hey, I feel the beat, so I'ma vibe too. I know the angels and the saints down the ride too. It's no fear, cause the Lord on my side, dude. You can have it too, cause the Spirit lives inside you. Used to not believe till I saw true glory. Made history, my middle name, riches right before it. God is the promise, yeah, the boy honest. I'm flying with the Lord, tell that pilot you behind us. And we can cruise at different altitudes. I got kingdom riches, homie, no fake jewels. Undisputed heavyweight champ, I can't lose. God, what you keep believing, know it's time to make moves. Gotta stay focused on my grind. Gotta keep the Lord up on my mind. You believe that? You believe that? And if you love them, lift them high. Throw them hands up in the sky. You believe that? You believe that? Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. If you just tuning in to Dragon Sports Live, this last song that you hear that's going off right now, it's called Believe That, and it's by Jason Newkirk and G.E. Bennett, my college bros that I went to school with. And this song is also like, it's a good way to keep you motivated, keep you moving forward, which that's the best thing to do. In this life, you can't let things get you down, put you away. You got to keep moving forward. So that's why I always say I believe that, because you believe in the one upstairs, and then keep moving forward. With that being said, luck was actually on the Ram side. So this past weekend we had our NFC and AFC conference championships. Man, might I say they were some great games this past. Great games. That's all I'm gonna say. Well, except one game. One game, it was a good game, but the Saints was really robbed in this game. In the last, like, I want to say minute in the fourth quarter, there was a blatant pass interference call that was not called. That should have been called. Now, I understand the refs want to watch the game and let the fellas play, but it was a lot of calls that y'all should have been called. There was a couple face mask calls that should have been called. Couple, you know, roughing a passer calls that should have been called, and that one pass interference call. This made Sean Payton mad. It would have made me mad too. He called the NFL after the game for that call, and they admit to him to missing that call. Hadn't they got that call, that could have changed the outcome of the game. It could have been a whole different ball game. It could have been Saints versus Patriots, or whatever. That's possible. That's one of those games that they was legit robbed. But if you go down a box score, so passing, we had Jared Goff, who was 25 of 40, 297 yards, and Drew Brees, 26 of 40, 249 yards. Both of these teams threw one interception apiece, but Brees scored more touchdowns than Gios. In my vote, I picked the Saints to win that game because, when it comes to playoffs, you gotta go with the vets most of the time. In some cases, but seeing that both these teams had the same record, they're both 13-13, 6-2. It was a pretty good game, and then the Rams had to get back, kind of get even with them, with the Saints, since the Saints made them look like they wasn't the number one defense in the league. I mean, number one offense. My bad. And it just made them seem like they wasn't that top ranked team the first time they met. So I knew that this game should be good because it was like the Rams didn't want to go down that road, and it's the NFC Championship. Teams get hungry in there. It was to the point where both coaches, Sean Payton and McVay, they both was pulling out their trick plays. You had ran a fake punt, got a first down off that, 12-yard completion. Hecker with that toss, and then you have Tyson Hill throwing passes. Switch it up, reverse that play. Tyson Hill going to score the touchdown on basically the exact same play. Todd Gurley wasn't really a factor in that game. He only had 4 carries for 10 yards and a TD. That's the only rushing TD when New Orleans didn't have any rushing TDs, but they was running the ball down a little bit down their throats. Our receiving core is basically was a shootout. Cooks with 100 yards 107 yards receiving. Reynolds with 74, and Everett with 50, and Woods with 33. Then you got Kamara with 96, Ginn with 58, Thomas with 36, and then Hill with 24. So their stats was pretty even, but first total team yards, the Rams beat them. They had 309 versus Saints 249. Like I said, if that call was called, that it may have been a different outcome. It may have been totally different. So, hey, that's all I'm gonna say is, hey, it happened. It happened. But no doubt about that, it still was a great game. Now you switch to the other side, the AFC. Now the last meeting between the Chiefs and Patriots pretty much in the same way. They won by just a touchdown. That's what happened the first time. Tom Brady's making his ninth appearance in the Super Bowl. That's over 50% of the time since he's been in the NFL. Tom Brady also threw 30 of 46 attempts, 348 yards, 1 TD, 2 interceptions. And his QBR was at 80. But then you go to the other side, Pat Mahomes was 16 of 31, 295 yards, 3 touchdowns. And was sacked 4 times. And his QBR was at 73. But in the first half, it wasn't about it was about offense because Tom Brady came out firing. First play of the drive, first couple plays of the drive, he scored a touchdown. And he scored a touchdown in the second quarter as well. It was the third quarter that when Kansas City first started waking up. After they got the interception, Pat Holmes drives the team down, scores a touchdown. And then in the fourth quarter is when really Kansas City woke all the way up. They scored 24 points in the fourth quarter. They was trying to win this game. What stopped them is, in this case, experience stopped them. You got Tom Brady who knows how to move the ball quick. If 2 minutes or more, if you got Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, even Phillip Rivers, within that 2 minute, they're like one of the best 2-minute drill quarterbacks to have. Because they like to move the ball. They're going to move the ball, get out, keep it going. And they're going to continue to move the ball. When you got Sonny Michel, who had 113 yards rushing, Burkhead with 41, and White with 23. And you go on the other half, you basically have Williams with 30 yards and Holmes with 11 yards. So that's where New England thrive at. They ran the ball down their throat as well as pass. Gronk didn't score a touchdown, but he did get a 25-yard bomb to him down the field where he caught it basically over his opponent's head, which was B.Rae, and held it. So if y'all tuning in, who y'all got for this Super Bowl? I'm riding with Patriots. Who riding with the Rams? If y'all riding with the Rams, it's the first time since 2001 that they have been to the Super Bowl. Ain't that lovely? Sounds lovely. And I think it's going to be a very good game because, a lot of people was expecting to see Rams Chiefs. But out of these 4 teams that we had in the past, I was expecting to see either one. It's like, I'm always going to ride with the Patriots because I'm a Patriots fan. A lot of people, they tired of seeing Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, but it's just like, hey, if the man's good, he's good. He can take a non-weapon and make it into a weapon. So that's what you fail to realize. But according to the matchup predictor, they got the Rams a 52.4% chance to win this game, the Super Bowl. Pro Bowl is coming up this weekend. In case you guys wondering, it's gonna be some good events today. So stay tuned for that. I'm down. I'm ready to see. Gurley was like, I wasn't injured. And he was like, I just wasn't performing well. It wasn't injury. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. But in other news, speaking of coaching changes, I did mention earlier that, Bulls get former coach Mr. Chuck. They get him for that. But if you look at his resume, he's a very, very defensive coach. He used to be a defensive coordinator before he became head coach. It's like defense is just in his veins, in his blood. So I think he would be a good fit for Vic Fangio, who's now the Denver Broncos head coach. Be a very good pick for that. But I'm sorry to hurt you guys leave, but I will be getting out of here. I'll be back here next Wednesday from 6 to 7 here on Chicagoland Sports Radio, and you're tuning in to Dragon Sports Live. And on that note, we're going to lead it out on some music. That's the best way to leave. Kid Flash, King Bone, and we winning. So tune into the Super Bowl and keep you posted. Peace out.
We win. We all out of control. We keep going to the numbers. We started like oh. We win. Can't believe that we did it. Now we got the keys to the city. We got the keys for the We win. We all out of control. We go to the numbers. We started like oh.